Have you ever stopped to think about what really happens in a man's mind when he falls in love? Not the superficial Hollywood version, nor the biological explanation, but the deep psychological transformation that takes place in his soul. What if I told you that falling in love is not just something that happens to a man, but something that reveals himself in a way he never imagined? By the way, for those who want to dive even deeper into this universe, I recommend the book Unlocking the Male Mind, written by Joey Brown, which draws heavily on Carl Jung's teachings in several parts to explain the complexities of the male mind in relationships, a true guide to understanding these profound dynamics. Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating psychology of Carl Jung to discover one of the most misunderstood aspects of the male experience: how men fall in love. We're not talking about flirting or dating. We're going deep into the soul, into the unconscious forces that lead men to certain partners. What you are about to discover may completely transform how you understand love, relationships, and maybe even yourself. To unlock the mysteries of the male mind, this is just the beginning of a deep journey. Because, according to Jung, when a man falls in love, he is not just finding another person, he is finding parts of himself he never knew existed. For Jung, love was not a simple emotion, it was a profound psychological force. When a man falls in love, he is finding much more than an attractive person. He is finding his anima, his inner feminine. The anima represents the unconscious feminine side that exists within every man. It is not about gender stereotypes, but psychological energies such as sensitivity, intuition, creative expression, and tenderness. The anima is a vital part of his psyche seeking integration. When a man encounters a woman who somehow resembles or embodies aspects of his anima, something remarkable happens. He not only sees her, he sees his own soul reflected in her. This is what Jung called projection. Think about those intoxicating first moments of attraction. A man may feel like he's known this person forever, an inexplicable familiarity. According to Jung, the man is projecting his anima onto the woman. He is not just seeing the real person, but his ideal inner feminine materialized. This explains why men can fall in love so quickly and deeply. They are responding to something awakened inside them. The woman becomes a mirror, reflecting parts of the man's psyche that were asleep. The awakening of the shadow and the challenge of reality. But this raises a crucial question. Is he really falling in love with the woman or with his own projection? What happens when the intoxication of projection begins to fade? When reality inevitably breaks through the veil of fantasy? This is where many relationships fail. The initial euphoria gives way to disappointment. The woman does not perfectly match the man's unconscious ideal. When the reality of who she really is starts to emerge, the man faces a critical choice: retreat to fantasy or undertake the challenging work of seeing beyond his projections. For Jung, this moment of disillusionment is not a failure. It is an invitation to greater awareness, to genuine connection, to authentic love. It is the beginning of seeing the other person as she really is. But this is far from easy. You need to confront not only the anima, but also another fundamental aspect: the shadow. The shadow represents the repressed, denied, or unrecognized parts of ourselves, our insecurities, fears, and wounds. And ironically, the act of falling in love often brings the shadow to the surface. The confident man becomes jealous, the laid-back one anxious. These are manifestations of the shadow that arise when love threatens to expose our deepest vulnerabilities. For many men, the shadow appears as fear. Fear of rejection, abandonment, or loss of autonomy. Society has not made this easy, conditioning men to suppress emotional vulnerability. This disconnection from their own emotions can lead to immature relationships, where the man tries to escape deep intimacy, jumping from passion to passion or hiding in work. He oscillates between the enchantment of projection and the fear of facing the shadow. The path to mature love, according to Jung, requires integration, bringing the unconscious into consciousness, recognizing projections, and confronting the shadow. It's about seeing the other person clearly, beyond the veil of our own unconscious material. The magic does not disappear, it transforms into something more authentic and sustainable. In immature love, the man looks for in his partner what he lacks in himself. He expects her to complete him. But in mature love, the man has done the work of integrating his anima. He has developed a relationship with his own emotional life, intuition, and nurturing capacity. He does not need his partner to embody these qualities. He has cultivated them within himself. This frees him to see and love his partner as she really is. This integration requires conscious effort, examining relationship patterns, questioning attractions and aversions, and facing uncomfortable truths about oneself. It means developing emotional knowledge and the courage to be vulnerable. Relationships are powerful vehicles for growth. Our partners often activate exactly the shadow aspects we most need to confront. This is not bad luck. It is the psyche's method of bringing unconscious material into awareness. Jealousy, for example, reveals deeper insecurities about self-worth. Recognizing this shifts the focus from blame to understanding one's internal landscape. What we find most irritating or attractive in others usually reflects repudiated aspects of ourselves. For a man seeking mature love, this means asking, what is this reaction revealing about me? What part of myself am I seeing reflected in this person? Through this process, the relationship becomes a container for psychological and spiritual growth. Love becomes a path of individuation, the process of becoming a complete and authentic self. Love is not just about finding the right person, it's about becoming more whole through the relationship. Mature male love, a conscious choice. So what is mature male love like? Clear vision. He sees his partner clearly beyond projections. He appreciates her as a complex human being, respecting her autonomy and uniqueness. Emotional presence and vulnerability. Having integrated his anima, he identifies and expresses feelings without being overwhelmed, tolerating vulnerability without defensiveness. Capacity to hold ambiguity. The relationship does not have to be perfect. Conflicts are opportunities for understanding. Differences invite expansion of perspective. Love as a conscious practice. He approaches love as a practice, not just a feeling. He recognizes that love requires attention, care, and ongoing renewal. Generativity. Mature love is generative. It creates something beyond itself, a context for mutual growth and the development of both partners' fullest potential. Obstacles such as fear of vulnerability, seeking completeness externally, or confusing love with possession may arise. Past wounds also influence. The way forward is awareness, not cold analysis, but a warm light into the hidden corners of the psyche. This awareness does not diminish the magic of love. It allows a deeper and more authentic enchantment based on reality. For Jung, love was a profound spiritual practice, an alchemical process transforming the two lovers. He reminds us that the way we love is not fixed. It is something we can develop throughout our lives, becoming more conscious, integrated, and capable of genuine intimacy and connection. The ability to mature love may be our deepest human potential. So perhaps the most important question is not whether someone loves you, but how that person loves you. Not whether love is present, but what quality of consciousness infuses it. Because in the end, love is not just something we fall into. It is something we practice, cultivate, and deepen through ongoing commitment to our own growth and to the growth of our relationships. What aspects of yourself have you discovered through love? How has your relationship revealed parts of you that might otherwise have remained hidden? These are not just philosophical questions. They are invitations to greater awareness, to a deeper understanding of yourself and your capacity for connection. To go even deeper into these insights, to better understand the male mind and its relation to the anima, the shadow, and individuation, I recommend the book Unlocking the Male Mind by Joey Brown, which draws heavily on Carl Jung's teachings to explain these complex dynamics. May your journey toward a more conscious love be rewarding, challenging, and ultimately transformative.